Hi, I'm Nilesh Chidasama, Senior Partner Account Manager for the Booz Allen Partner Team for AWS, and I'm joined here today by Senior Vice Presidents Bo Oliver and Chris Christou from Booz Allen. Bo, Chris, welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us, Nilesh.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourselves, your roles within the organization, and about the company?
Yep, my name is Chris Christou, Senior Vice President, Booz Allen, part of our CTO organization where we lead up a team that is experimenting and prototyping with new technologies and taking those to market. A lot of the areas that we focus on is, of course, edge cloud, which is really emergent in the field and quite exciting, 5G and 6G, intelligent automation, as well as sort of the applications and use cases that ride above that, whether it be human performance, XR-based applications, digital twin, and other items.
Bo Oliver, Senior Vice President, Booz Allen Hamilton, also within our Chief Technology Office. My group's largely focused around how do we get access to the technology that we're able to bring to our partners. So larger partnerships are Corporate Venture Capital Fund, where we're making actual investments in startups and other companies to partner, and some of our tech scouting and other capabilities that lead over, working with Chris to drive new and innovative business models for both our company and for our clients.
Bo, may I start with you? Could you tell us a little bit about your Volt strategy and how you use that to drive innovation across the organization and how partners play into that?
Sure, yeah, happy to. So our Volt strategy is focused around kind of three core tenets: velocity, leadership, and technology. But the real purpose of Volt is how do we take a problem-first approach to our clients' biggest missions, outline these solutions of how we're going to do that, and partner with others in the industry and existing technologies with our own capabilities and expertise and IP to get in and solve those problems quickly and get it in clients' and the warfighters' hands as fast as possible.
Oh, great. You mentioned a couple of the areas that you're leaning in on. Where do you find that your customers are really pushing the outer limits of technology today, and how do edge and cloud play into that?
We are in the midst of a major push by our U.S. government clients to advance the technology baseline of our country. And that's done not only to help the mission of the agencies that we support, in particular the DoD, but also because of the geopolitical race that we're in with other countries. Where they're really investing, we see, the first area of close to home for me is 5G and 6G. The U.S. government has invested now billions of dollars in terms of seeking out funds to fund industry in terms of developing new technologies there, as well as building prototype efforts across military bases in the U.S. It was by design that our team within the CTO not only has teams focusing on the specific technologies, but also the development of mission use cases to build what we call those mission tech stacks, right? So we try to go into client organizations and say, okay, before we talk about the latest 5G SA core network or the latest, AWS Snowball Edge offering, let's just talk about the use case and what you're trying to achieve. Mix in the types of technologies that can be deployed to understand what's the art of the possible, and then from there try to really integrate a design that could meet those goals.
Yeah, I think that's a big piece of it. My biggest recommendation is, starting now, you've got to be looking over the horizon and see what's coming and understand how that's going to impact your mission. And talking with your partners, like us, when we go in together and do these things, to have that understanding of where the market's kind of going and how that's going to impact, right? 5G, edge, it's all a great example, right? Initially, it's overcoming that hurdle. How do we get that connection? But then it's the broader vision of, hey, wow, what does this enable for the future? That's a lot different than what we're doing today. And how do you build and make decisions knowing where you're going to probably end up versus making those decisions in a vacuum between one or the other makes a big difference for long-term planning.
So what are the demand signals that you're seeing around edge computing? What are you seeing there?
There definitely is an uptick in the demand signals. I'll first mention, of course, with the government and the DoD in particular having such a focus on 5G and 6G. Edge cloud is just native to that architecture, and it just makes sense given the type of enhancements and the new types of devices that we'll see with those types of networks. But, other areas were, on the tactical edge, right? To be able to do that processing locally, whether they are connected back or disconnected, in order to, again, collect data, even run AI models on that data or run critical applications to help that tactical warfighter or first responder.
Yeah, and I think you hit on it right. I think the big shift in demand signals that I've seen is less around just having connectivity when you talk about edge solutions, and now more to, 5G enables you to do a lot more at the edge, right? You've got a much bigger data pipe. You can get it quickly down to any type of sensor, and now you can, now clients are wanting to process it immediately. How do I run and execute ML models in an edged environment, right? If I'm, in a distributed environment or denied environment where I'm having trouble getting connection, how do I have those interact? And then more importantly, now from more of a, you've heard of JADC2 and other capabilities, how does it all become interoperable across all the pieces that we have in play there and do it in a way that's, scalable and built for the future, I think.
Chris, Bo, thank you so much for joining us today, and really appreciate your insights into your approaches to innovation, partnership, and really accelerating and driving the mission forward.